Hello, hello, hello. We are talking all about Black love forever and always. Make sure you stay tuned.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Well, hello, everyone. I am super excited to be here again talking about my favorite show ever, Black Love. Now, this is season 3, episode 8, Always and Forever. I am your girl, Zakia Wilbert. I'm not here with my other co-host, but I'm super excited to still bring you the juicy Black love gems that we learned this episode. Today, what we'll talk about is commitment, communication, confidence. You see those 3 C's? Identity, and is it all worth it? Again, we still have our news and gossip and a snippet of our special segment. So stay tuned. Keep your seats warm. We're going to be talking all about it. Overall, for my overall thoughts, I love this episode. I think my favorite was the new couple that we did get, and I believe we all have a special place in our heart for them because they're so cute. They were together for 73 years, and it was William and Catherine. So that took me out. I think this episode definitely made me cry, especially Rebecca and Terry. So I love this episode. This is probably my favorite, my absolute favorite. I'm a hopeless romantic, so learning anything about forever and always, everlasting love, it just gets me every time. Jumping right into it. Okay, so for our first topic, we have commitment. So, of course, we seen our favorite couple, and I'm here with you guys in my notes. So if I'm looking down, it's my notes. So, of course, we had our favorite couple, William and Catherine. Well, my favorite couple, I hope they were yours too. And they were talking about the importance of commitment and staying together. I think it was so important to hear someone from the perspective of 73 years because that was the oldest couple on the show. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think is a commitment, something that has to absolutely be done in a relationship? Of course, we heard from a lot of our other episodes that commitment sometimes is broken, but how is that commitment mended? And I know they were speaking of like sometimes it is hard and sometimes they had their ups and downs, but how was it kept together? For me, I think commitment is absolutely the number one most important as far as also love and like, because again, I've learned from the show, and I'm sure you guys did too, that you can be in love with someone, but you have to like them in order to be committed. So there we go. So that was my overall favorite part about that. Again, we dove more into the episode and we learned about the importance of communication. And I think it was important to stay on this topic, especially hearing from Sally, who, for me, Sally came and she was speaking about how she lost herself in Dondre. If you guys remember, she was saying when she first was with him, she would do everything he basically said because she wanted the relationship. And that stood out to me the most because to do everything you want your partner to do, you lose yourself. And then when she actually became who she was in the relationship, it made them argue more, or he was saying you're a liar. You said before you like certain things and you really don't. That was a lot. And I think it's important to know that you're growing, I guess, with the person you're with. I honestly appreciate her honesty because I wouldn't see a lot of people just coming out and saying that because it's something that you both have to deal with and something so sacred to your relationship. I appreciate every couple's honesty because we heard everyone's truth. And I think this is why this show is so important, is to hear everyone's truth. So going on based off of everyone else's truth, Keven and Melissa also spoke a lot or talked about their feelings and how basically about anger. And she was saying that anger was, and I want to know your thoughts because for me, I agree with her, but at first I was completely confused and I have to honestly look down to see exactly what I wrote because it was so important to me. But she said sometimes anger isn't an emotion, it's an outward effect of your emotions. So whether you're lonely or you have some type of heartbreak or you're depressed, is an outward action of those emotions. And I'm not going to lie, at first I was like, girl, angry is an emotion, but it made sense. When you're angry, it's because of something else that's deeply rooted. For her, it was important for her to actually understand her emotions and what she was going through and then communicate that with her husband, Keven. So I absolutely love their dynamic. Again, please let me know what you guys thought of it. It's so crucial to have good communication. And I know here at AfterBuzz, we often have very great communication, especially talking about all of our after shows. So make sure you like and subscribe because we're always going to be speaking and talking with you about our favorite after shows. We are the ESPN of TV talk, and we love to bring to you the news that we receive or the gems that we get. So again, like, subscribe, watch, give us 5 stars, thumbs ups, everything. Continue to do it because we love you. Going back into the episode, confidence was also, so again, we talked about the 3 C's. We had communication, we had commitment, and then we went into confidence and the confidence that they had in their marriages. One of the couples who really stood out to me, and side note, kudos to the producers for bringing back our old couples. I mean, if you guys are here from the beginning, which I'm sure you were, to the end, we saw so many couples. So if I don't get to one of them, like, tell me the story of a couple you liked within these conversations, because there was literally almost all of them, not even all of them, because there's so many. But again, back to confidence. So my favorite couple that I really looked up to in this conversation, and I always wonder what are the exact questions that the person behind the camera is asking. I always try to make them up for myself. Make sure you give us like a hint of what the questions are, maybe, possibly. But again, so Chris and Maddie, she was talking about how her love communication or her love or her marriage became more confident when her husband catered to her love communication. So if you guys don't remember this one, she was saying she read a book. It was like the capital L and lowercase L, something between those two, but she realized she loved positive affirmations. And I thought it was super cute because Chris every morning sent her affirmations about herself and just positivity throughout everything, even if they were mad at each other, and that really boosts the confidence of their marriage. I never thought of confidence in marriage, but I guess you do have to feel secure and safe in your marriage for it to work. So I appreciate them bringing that subject to us. And I can't even move on without also talking about Terry and Rebecca's story, because tell me what you guys think. 90 days without marriage, building the confidence in your 90 days without marriage, 90 days without sex. So it's 90 days without sex, and they said that actually built the confidence within their marriage. 90 days. So you're already married. Now let's dissect it. You're already married and you say, okay, we're in this together, but I want to go 90 days without having sex. And to my absolute shock and I was tearing up with them because I couldn't believe it. He said that was the pivotal moment in their marriage when they actually focused on each other and were able to just go back to the basics. And they said they tried it twice. So the first time it didn't work. And 75 days, I mean, after 75 days, I would be upset that it didn't work for the 90 days, but they said they were as well. But then they went to the 90 days. Is that something that you guys would do, actually go 90 days without sex and you're already married? I don't know if I could personally do it. I commend them. I would try. I definitely would try. I would try my hardest. I'm like Terry in that sense of just going for everything. But they also mentioned in this episode identity and who you were in a relationship. And I think that was super important because one of my favorite couples brought this out. And again, so many different couples, so many. But Justin and Joy. So they said you are an individual. you are like a different identity. So you have your individual identity, you have your marriage identity, and you have your work identity. And I wanted to know, is that true? Like, do you have those multiple different identities? I think I personally have like an identity with my friends. If I'm like speaking of a relationship with my friends, with work, and with my significant other. So I can see how, you have to balance all of them. So that was a different for me to hear, but I can understand it. I don't know if I completely get it yet. I need Justin and Joy to fully give me more examples, but I can definitely see that. Again, with identity and like learning who your partner is and your own personal identity, Toya was speaking of her personal conflict between herself and her marriage identity, because she was saying her personal self, after something is going wrong or if she wants something, she's going to get it done. She's going to do it. She doesn't care what it takes. However, her marriage self had to sit down and say, hey, you're not in this by yourself. You have your husband and you guys need to do this together. So now hearing that, I'm seeing it, I'm looking, I need more examples, but I love that they brought that piece out. Oh yeah, and another thing about just speaking of identity, oh my gosh, guys, my favorite part, literally I cried at this moment, was when Quincy and Dondre were speaking of their marriage. So just a little briefer, because I can't even not say it. They got married at the Grammys. Yeah. If you watched it, you were like, what? I didn't even realize. So Queen Latifah married them. Madonna performed and they walked down the aisle at the Grammys. I was in awe. That is probably the best wedding I've ever heard of. And if I can do that, I want to follow in those footsteps of getting married at the Grammys. And I guess like no one really understood what was happening until it was happening. And they were saying the room shifted from wow, okay, to just complete tears and joy and happiness. Can you imagine being at the Grammys and literally the entire energy of the room shifts? I loved it. I had to take a moment, a breather, because I'm absolutely in awe. That was my favorite part of the episode. I think that was the make or break for me, and that made it. That made this episode the best. And then going back into our Forever and Always, with our Forever and Always getting married, we spoke about, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Was getting married at the Grammy worth it? Yes, it was. I'm sure it was. But we also talked about the ups and downs of marriage and how like every day you can literally possibly not want to be with your partner. And is it worth it? What makes it worthwhile? I can't talk about this topic without talking about David and his wife. Oh, Julie. David and Julie. I'm telling you, so many couples. So 18 years of marriage, and he basically, they are a crack me up, good time, fun time. I want to have dinner with them. But he was basically saying every day he packs his bags. I'm like, David. But you could tell they have that interaction with each other. But is it all worth it? He says every day he wants to pack up his bags and leave, but he realizes this is somebody he's going to be with forever, and whether they're going to live in separate houses or not, he's going to be with her forever and always. And I just thought it was hilarious. I think they just have a good time. Let me know what you guys think of their relationship. Some might be like, wow, he's so mean, but I just think they balance each other. So I loved it. I love hearing about them. But someone else who was talking about what is it all worth it, and some important points that was brought out was by Egypt and Mike. If you guys remember our couple, Egypt and Mike, they were married for 8 years, but he brought out an important message, Mike. He was saying that a lot of people forget that you have to make it fun and you have to like. So you have to enjoy one another to be committed forever and always. And you also have to like them, because there are going to be times when you fall maybe out of love. But when you like someone, you're willing to make it work. I think that's how it went. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong. And then Egypt said the drama made it a little bit exciting. So they must be really in like with one another if the drama makes it exciting. So for them, it was definitely worth it through everything. And another couple who also said it was very much so worth it was, and they were my favorite as well. I'm trying to figure out, okay. Duh, Kenny and Jessica. Duh, that was my light bulb going off in my head. But anyways, so Kenny and Jessica, I love how Kenny always said that do the things that you were doing before you guys were married. So if she likes flowers, continuously buy her flowers. If you're always getting dressed up nice and you have your date nights, keep doing that. I love that because I think it's always important to keep that romantic feel in your relationship, no matter how long you guys have been married, because that is what help you guys fall in love. So why not continue to generate the same love and respect for one another in your marriage, and never go to bed mad. So when you're going to sleep, never go to bed mad. I love it. I think that we always get great advice from all these couples. And being that this is the finale, I loved how they showed each couple that was there in the years that they were married. And I started to really understand why there's so many different couples, why the ranges of marriage were different, is because to learn the diversity of love and how love is different amongst everyone. So it's not like a set description in the dictionary. It has different tones and elements. So kudos to Black Love. I would never ever get tired of watching the show. I absolutely love it. I'm super sad it's done, but again, it was one of my favorite shows. And I gotta bring to you guys news and gossip because I saw some juicy stuff online. So let me again introduce our news and gossip for this episode.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, so I was browsing through the web on my little Instagram, scrolling through, and I stumbled upon Kevin's Instagram, and him and his wife are gonna have a conference, and it's gonna be in Atlanta. It's coming up in 2020, and it's called the Love Hour. So they have a few other couples, and they're going to be talking all about relationship advice and encouragement and elements of love and marriage and happiness. And I absolutely love that they continue to spread their love to other people and encourage other people and help other people, because again, guys, as we all learn, marriage is not a piece of cake. It's hard. It has its ups and downs. So I love that they're always giving back and teaching others by their own story. So kudos to you guys. I want to be there. Me just soaking in all of the love and energy. So I hope one day I could definitely meet them and also be at this conference. And now I can't forget our special segment. So we always bring to you guys a couple that we absolutely love and admire. Yes, so I want to just bring out a couple that I think is super cute, and it's the James, so LeBron James and his wife. I absolutely adore them, and they're family. I think they are super cute. They're always posting their kids. They're really family oriented. And if you know LeBron James, like we all know LeBron James, when Taco Tuesday is around, he is yelling it from the sky and above. His kids and family are all doing it. It's Taco Tuesday. So shout out to them. They've been with each other forever. They need to be on Black Love. Literally, they've been with each other forever. And it's beautiful to just see their family and how wonderful they are. Oh my, I'm so in love. I hate to go, but I have to. But again, guys, make sure you continue to watch AfterBuzz. I'm on a whole bunch of other after shows. One of my other after shows, I can't even speak, is All American on Monday. So if you miss my face, make sure you search for me on Monday starting in January once again on All American. My name is Zakia Wilbert. Yes. You can find me on Instagram at ZakiaW_. So if you guys have anything you want to let me know, make sure you do. And I hope to speak to you all very soon. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.